Hey everyone, welcome back to USA Coin. Today, we're diving into the world of Lincoln wheat pennies, focusing on the top 7 most valuable ones you should keep an eye out for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newbie, this list will help you spot some rare gems. So, let's get started. Introduction. First up, the 1917 wheat penny was minted over a century ago during a pivotal time in American history. The United States was involved in World War I, and this small copper coin was a part of daily life for millions of Americans. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, a design that symbolizes prosperity and unity. There were 3 versions of the 1917 wheat penny: the Philadelphia Mint, which has no mint mark, the Denver Mint with a D, and the San Francisco Mint with an S. Over 55 million were produced in Philadelphia, making it the most common. But even the Denver and San Francisco pennies saw large production numbers, with over 50 million and 32 million coins minted respectively. Now, let's talk about condition. A 1917 wheat penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch hundreds of dollars. However, even a coin in poor condition, like this one, can have value. Why? Because collectors and history enthusiasts appreciate the story it tells. For coins in bad condition, the value depends on factors like rarity, mint mark, and overall demand. A heavily worn 1917 penny without a mint mark might be worth 10 to 50 cents, but if it has a D or an S, it could be slightly more valuable, ranging from 50 cents to $2. When evaluating your coin, check for details like the date, mint mark, and overall wear. Even if it's heavily damaged, unique errors, such as a doubled die or an off-center strike, could significantly increase its worth. Did you know that pennies from the early 1900s were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc? That's why they've stood the test of time, even in less than ideal conditions. Imagine the journey this penny has been on, from being used to buy essentials during World War I to surviving decades of circulation. It's more than just a coin, it's a piece of history. Next up, the 1945 D wheat penny was minted in Denver during the final years of World War II. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This iconic design was part of the Lincoln Cent series, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. In 1945, over 266 million wheat pennies were struck at the Denver Mint. This high production number makes the 1945 D a common coin in the series, but its historical significance adds to its appeal. These coins were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that shifted slightly during the war years due to metal shortages. Now, let's talk about condition and value. In circulated condition, the 1945 D wheat penny is typically worth 5 to 10 cents. In higher grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, the value increases to around 50 cents to $1. Pristine, uncirculated examples can fetch $5 or more, depending on eye appeal and luster. Coins with unique errors or variations, such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks, can command significantly higher prices, sometimes reaching into the hundreds of dollars. When examining your 1945 D penny, pay close attention to the details. Look for wear on Lincoln's cheek and hair, as well as the wheat stalks on the reverse. A sharp strike and minimal wear indicate higher value. Additionally, search for mint errors, which are highly sought after by collectors. Did you know that during the war years, the US Mint experimented with alternative materials for pennies? In 1943, for example, they produced steel pennies coated with zinc to save copper for the war effort. By 1945, however, the mint returned to the traditional copper alloy, giving these coins their familiar reddish-brown tone. Imagine the journey of a 1945 D wheat penny. It could have been used to buy war bonds, ration goods, or even candy at a local store. Each coin carries a piece of history, connecting us to the everyday lives of those who lived through one of the most pivotal times in the 20th century. Next up, the 1944 wheat penny was minted during World War II, a time of great challenges and change in the United States. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This design, introduced in 1909, marked the centennial of Lincoln's birth. In 1944, over 1.4 billion wheat pennies were minted across 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint produced the most, with over 1 billion coins, making this a very common coin in circulation. These coins were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, as the US Mint returned to this alloy after producing steel pennies in 1943 to conserve copper for the war effort. Now, let's talk about condition and value. In heavily worn or bad condition, a 1944 wheat penny typically has a value of 2 to 5 cents due to its high mintage and commonality. However, coins in better condition, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, can be worth 10 to 20 cents. Uncirculated examples with pristine surfaces can fetch $1 to $3, and those with unique errors or variations, such as a doubled die or off-center strike, can command significantly higher prices. When examining a 1944 wheat penny in bad condition, focus on identifying key details like the date and mint mark. Even heavily worn coins may have errors like die cracks or repunched mint marks that add to their value. These details are highly sought after by collectors. Did you know that in 1944, a few pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel plankets from 1943? These rare steel pennies are among the most valuable Lincoln cents, with values reaching thousands of dollars at auction. If you believe you have a 1944 steel penny, it's worth having it authenticated. Imagine the life of a 1944 wheat penny. It might have been used by soldiers' families buying rationed goods or saved in a piggy bank during a time of uncertainty. Each coin tells a story of resilience and hope during a defining moment in American history. Next up, the 1941 D wheat penny was minted during a time of recovery from the Great Depression and the early days of World War II. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This classic design has been a cornerstone of American numismatics since its introduction in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's centennial. In 1941, the Denver Mint struck over 128 million wheat pennies, making the 1941 D a common coin among collectors. These pennies were composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them their distinctive reddish-brown tone. Despite being heavily circulated, they remain an accessible piece of history for enthusiasts. Now, let's discuss the value of a 1941 D wheat penny in bad condition. Heavily worn examples typically hold a value of 3 to 5 cents due to their abundance. In higher grades, such as very fine or extremely fine, the value increases to 10 to 50 cents. Uncirculated examples can fetch $2 to $5, while those with exceptional luster or unique characteristics may command even higher prices. Additionally, error coins like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks are highly sought after and can significantly boost the value of your coin. When examining your 1941 D penny, focus on key features such as the date, mint mark, and overall condition. Even in bad condition, errors like die cracks or repunched mint marks can make your coin stand out. These subtle details are what collectors look for and appreciate. Did you know that during the 1940s, pennies were often used to support war efforts? Coin drives were common, where Americans donated pennies to help fund supplies and resources for soldiers overseas. This adds a layer of historical importance to coins from this era, including the 1941 D wheat penny. Next up, the 1947's wheat penny was minted in San Francisco in the years following World War II, during a period of economic recovery and growth in the United States. This coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This iconic design was part of the Lincoln Cent series introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. In 1947, the San Francisco Mint produced approximately 99 million wheat pennies. While not as common as those struck in Philadelphia or Denver, the 1947 mints is still relatively easy to find for collectors. These coins were made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them their characteristic reddish-brown appearance. Now, let's talk about the value of a 1947 wheat penny in fine condition. In this grade, the coin typically has light wear but retains most of its details, making it appealing to collectors. A 1947 in fine condition is worth around 10 to 20 cents. In higher grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, its value can increase to 50 cents or more. Uncirculated examples with strong luster and minimal marks can fetch $2 to $5. Additionally, error coins, such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, can command significantly higher prices depending on the rarity and desirability of the error. When examining your 1947 penny, look closely at the mint mark and overall wear. Coins with sharp details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse are more valuable. Even minor errors or unique characteristics can add to the coin's worth and make it stand out among collectors. Did you know that pennies from the late 1940s were often saved by Americans as the economy improved? The copper composition of these coins makes them durable, and many have survived decades of circulation, preserving a piece of post-war history for collectors today. Next up. The 1956 wheat penny was minted during a period of post-war prosperity and economic growth in the United States. This coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This classic design, which debuted in 1909, is one of the most iconic in American coinage. In 1956, over 420 million wheat pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark, making this coin very common and easy to find. The composition of the coin is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it the reddish-brown appearance that collectors love. By this time, the wheat penny design was nearing the end of its run, as it would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Now, let's talk about the value of a 1956 wheat penny in fine condition. In this grade, the coin shows moderate wear but retains clear details on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the reverse. A 1956 penny in fine condition is typically worth 3 to 10 cents. In higher grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, the value can rise to 15 to 25 cents. Pristine, uncirculated examples with excellent luster can fetch $1 or more. Additionally, error coins, like doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, can command significantly higher prices depending on the rarity and demand for the error. When evaluating your 1956 penny, pay close attention to the coin's details. Look for sharpness in Lincoln's hair, the bow tie, and the wheat stalks. Even subtle errors or die variations can add to the value, so examining the coin carefully is key. Did you know that the 1956 wheat penny was minted during the height of the baby boom era? This coin would have been part of the everyday transactions of families buying groceries, children saving allowances, and workers earning wages in a thriving post-war economy. Its durability and widespread use make it a tangible piece of history from a prosperous time in America. Next up, the 1957 D wheat penny was minted in Denver during a time of post-war prosperity and modernization in the United States. It features the enduring design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by Victor David Brenner, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This design, introduced in 1909, has remained a cornerstone of American numismatics. In 1957, the Denver Mint produced an astounding 1.5 billion wheat pennies, making the 1957 D one of the most common coins of the series. These pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them their characteristic reddish-brown color. By this time, the wheat penny design was nearing its end, as it would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. Now, let's discuss the value of a 1957 D wheat penny in bad condition. In heavily worn or poor condition, this coin typically holds a value of 2 to 5 cents due to its high mintage and commonality. Coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, can fetch 10 to 20 cents. Uncirculated examples with exceptional luster can sell for $1 to $3. Error coins, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, can command significantly higher prices depending on the rarity and desirability of the error. When examining your 1957 D penny, pay attention to the mint mark and overall wear. Even in bad condition, coins with errors or unusual features can be more valuable. Look closely for signs of die cracks, doubling, or other anomalies that might set your coin apart. Did you know that pennies in the late 1950s were still a vital part of everyday transactions? The 1957 D wheat penny could have been used to purchase candy, pay for school lunches, or saved in a piggy bank. Its high mintage reflects the bustling economy of the time, where small denominations were essential for daily life. Imagine the journey of a 1957 D wheat penny. It might have passed through countless hands, been exchanged at local businesses, or saved as a keepsake by a collector. Each coin tells a story of mid-20th century America, connecting us to a vibrant era of growth and innovation. So, whether your 1957 D wheat penny is in bad condition or boasts a rare error, it remains a piece of numismatic and historical interest. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to USA Coin, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What coin should we explore next? Let us know.